Welcome everybody. I'm going to be talking about the really solid Audino buffs and changes. But before I get into that, I want to have a quick disclaimer for anybody who's new here and just happens to be clicking on this video. Welcome. What's good? Make sure you check out the description below. There is a link to the very same Google Sheets that I use in all my videos. And most importantly, not only can you check out the Pokemon buffs and changes for yourself, and it's a lot easier and probably quicker than watching all the videos, it's also home to the move change Google Sheet, and I don't have the time to go over all 600 plus move buffs and changes in all of these videos. There's not enough time. One day maybe I'll make a move video, but for now I highly recommend that you do check that out in the description. And while you're scrolling through the changes or listening to the videos or whatever you want to do, make sure you definitely check out what these moves do, because they are all buffed or changed in some regard, and there's 130 plus custom brand new ones and all types of important changes. So yeah, with that being said though, Audino's very solid now. It was always pretty underwhelming, especially the Mega. The Mega's like kind of dog shit for no reason. Can this please scroll back? Thank you. So it's really good. So base Audino is not normal fairy. That's like a pretty self-explanatory, logical thing. They both have Regenerator, so you don't lose Regenerator when you Mega Evolve. That's pretty cool. One of the few Megas to actually keep its ability when it Mega Evolves. Most Megas have two sets of unique abilities from the base Mega in this hack, but in this case, keeping Regenerator is very solid. Their other set of abilities is Trace, which becomes Magic Bounce when you Mega Evolve. Trace is very good, because you have to keep in mind that in this ROM hack, you have access to infinite usability capsules, because I've designed all Pokemon to have two sets of useful, viable abilities that you can switch between. Trace is highly situational, but in those situations, it can be game-changing. You can trace literally all of the incredible abilities in this hack, all of the custom new abilities, as well as all the widespread, very powerful abilities. The possibilities are literally endless with Trace. It really just depends on how smart you are when it comes to switching it in and tracing a specific ability. But you can get literally any ability in the game. The sky is the limit. It's an incredible ability. Okay, even just tracing, like even mirroring, Intimidate is pretty good. But then of course there's like infinite applications of this, literally infinite. It's insane. So Trace is a great ability, and logically I think it fits pretty well, given the whole, it's like this fairy healer type Pokemon, and it's like a fairy type esque ability. So keep in mind I do have to balance them with all of the other normal fairy types, of which there are actually a good amount in this hack. Let me list off some of the ones that aren't spoilers, if I can find the list. Come on, there we go. So Wigglytuff, Blissey, Chansey, and then Delcatty, and then there is Audino and Mega Audino, and then there are two more on top of that. So I definitely have to balance the abilities around. I can't give it Fluffy, I can't give it Fur Coat, I can't give it Simple. Any of those abilities, those are all overlap abilities. Serene Grace, Super Lock, I can't get any of those abilities to Audino. So yeah, that's why I picked Trace. It's a solid ability anyways. And then Mega Audino gains Magic Bounce, which is great, because in this ROM hack, Taunt is a very common way that I've prevented setup. A lot of Pokemon will lead with Taunt, or they just have random Taunt on their sets, and that makes it so you can't set up as easily. There's also all kinds of other ways that I've introduced phasing. For example, Heart Swap, which Audino gets as priority swap stat changes. You've got priority Roar and Whirlwind, all kinds of stuff that will stop setup. And Mega Audino with Magic Bounce is immune to that, which means it can get off Calm Minds and Amnesias and all this other stuff really easily. So that's really good for Mega Audino. Magic Bounce is great. And of course, you also bounce back all of these stat dropping moves, which are very common in this hack. Stuff like Battle Cry, Charm, Befriend, all these moves all over the place. Parting Shot, even, you switch in on a Parting Shot, they don't get to switch out anymore, I believe. I'm not sure if it blocks Parting Shot entirely, or if it just reverses the stat changes and then it still lets them switch. I'm honestly not positive, and I'm too lazy to check it. So either way, it's good though to stop yourself from getting the stat drop. So yeah, Magic Bounce is a great ability, and then logically it fits. It's a Mega, it's a fairy type, so I think those will all fit really well. Stat-wise, I did actually opt to keep the 103 base HP. You might have been expecting me to drop it, but it's kind of a Blissey situation. Blissey isn't that big either, but I still gave it 155 HP. It's not that giant, but I mean, it's a fat, like, normal healing type Pokemon, so I think having still a good HP stat in this case, very good. And 155 is obviously like incredible, but 103 is very good for HP. And I figured, what, just keep it. It's odd, it's this healer Pokemon. I'll let it keep the HP, and it works better with Regenerated that way as well. Otherwise, it's just a lot bulkier overall. 103, 91, 116 bulk on the base form is great, and then of course the Mega form is bulkier. However, not only is base Audino usable for the majority of the game, while Mega Audino is only for, like, Ula Ula Island, late Ula Ula Island type stuff, mid to late. I'm not exactly sure when, probably around like Plumeria if I had to guess for most Megas. Excuse me, like probably after Mimikyu is when most Megas will be legal. But with that being said, that doesn't make the base Audino objectively worse than Mega. Not only is Trace very good, but also you might need another Mega on your team. You might need an item on your Audino. In fact, in a lot of cases, you'll need it, especially as a support Pokemon. You know, you got like, you can run like lefties plus Wish plus Protect. You can run, you know, with Regen, you can pass off those wishes as well. You have Volt Switch via TM because it learned other electric moves, and have given Volt Switch to all Pokemon that learn electric moves and others. Just because, you know, it's cool to have that option. In a hard ROM hack like this, it's nice to be able to switch out with a move. So Volt Switch is nice. You know, on a bulkier set, you can run Assault Vest, which is actually bulkier than Mega Audino with Assault Vest. Of course, you do give up all the great support options in that case, but for certain fights, you can use it. So 80 with Special Attack is definitely usable with its wide, super effective coverage move pool. Offensively, you also have stuff like Boom Burst, which is great. Logically, that fits because they are, you know, they have like these ear sound, like it's literally called the hearing Pokemon, and they have like these stethoscope-esque things that they use to hear and feel and stuff. So, you know, firing off like a sound wave fits pretty well. In fact, I'm pretty sure they learn Hyper Voice and stuff by level up normally, so that's great. Yeah, otherwise, it's got other great utility, like I said, Charm, Befriend, Tickle, Encore, Harmonize and Disarming Voice and Water Pulse are all great, and Mystical Fire. Those 4 moves all drop the opponent's attacking stats by -1, so that's really nice. You can use those in a Regenerator out. That's another reason why Assault Vest sets are actually pretty good, because you can still have like a healing move with Draining Kiss, stat dropping move with Harmonize or Disarming Voice, any of these other moves. You know, you can do a lot of great things. It's really, really great. Trick Room is also nice because it is now neutral priority, so you can slap on the changed or buffed Quick Claw, which is a single use 100% trigger. You can then get off priority, in that case, Trick Room, and you know, then you can regenerate or Volt Switch out or whatever you want to do and go into your Trick Room abuser. You could even abuse it yourself if you got up Calm Minds or something, but you know, it's better to abuse it on something stronger because you have a limited amount of turns. Not that you couldn't abuse it yourself, because shit, if you're setting up, then you could, but you do have to keep in mind that there is a lot of anti-setup stuff. But Mega Audino Magic Bounce kind of negates a lot of that, so that's really good for Mega Audino. And then you have stuff like Fleur Cannon, which is really strong, 150 base power, -2 special attack, as well as Hyper Beam, which is actually 160 base power. So Hyper Beam and Fleur Cannon plus Regenerator makes a really nice combo, because you can click those very powerful moves. Even with only base 81 special attack, you know, you're still dealing massive damage with those, even uninvested. So you can get off a really strong Hyper Beam or Fleur Cannon, and you can switch out with Regenerator, reset the stat drops, and get your HP back. So that's really fun. I could touch on a couple other things, but honestly, I'm going to leave the video off there just for the sake of time. But there's a bunch of other really fun stuff they can take advantage of, and in general, they're just great Pokemon. Very, very tanky, very good support, pretty damn strong too, just really solid, good Pokemon. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. Hopefully you found this video entertaining. Definitely make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm close to 1K. I'm trying to hit that soon, so maybe by the time you're watching this, I already hit it. Thank you so much, and I'll be back for more Unova Pokemon soon. Peace.